Tech problems every damn day. Alright, here we are. Yes! 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 I did it! I did it! I cracked the YouTube code. How many times do I have to schedule a video? And do you know what it does? I had to do a little bit of troubleshooting just then. And basically, so I set the live stream up for like 24 hours in advance to get people to know when to come and stuff. And what I did, I made the fatal YouTube error of it automatically sets it to horizontal for when you stream, when I want vertical. But for some reason you can't change that once you set up your live streams. Every single time I try to go live, it's like you're not doing it right. You're not doing it right. And then I try to change it and it's like, it's too late. It's Jova. You have to start again. I'm like, oh great. After everyone's just been in the chat talking all nicely. And, you know, likes help videos, and there was like 8 likes on the stream. It's nice to see it. It gets it in the algorithm. Now, once again, I have to start afresh. What the hell, YouTube? I love YouTube to bits. I'll never leave. But there are just a few things sometimes that really pisses me off, and that is one of them. New house, new tech problems. Look, you can't take me away, you know. The same problems that I had in the old house are in the new one. Yes, this is the new house. Look at this, baby. This is what I built. This is the house that I spent 2 years building with my dad. It's pretty sturdy, I think. It's got lights and stuff, which is good. This is my new bedroom. I was contemplating where to set up all this stuff today. House tour maybe soon. It's actually not looking too bad right now, considering my old room was just full of boxes and stuff and getting ready to move, and it was madness. And then I finally moved. My last live stream was in January, I think, early January. So it's been a while. I didn't want it to be that long. But moving house is quite possibly one of the most stressful things. I think my sister said it's one of the most stressful things someone can go through. And this sounds like a first world problem, but I was very lucky. I actually, this house is still really nice, but my old house was actually quite big. Moving houses from like a big house to now we're in like a relatively more smaller one. I'm upstairs now, whilst before I was downstairs. But yeah, it was just madness just moving. I've moved 10 minutes that way in compared to where I was. So I'm in a brand new area. It's a brand new life, baby. And it feels nice, it feels strange. I feel like I'm here and life is here, and I haven't quite caught up yet. And you know, to be completely honest with you, I probably don't think I ever will catch up. But isn't that just life in a nutshell, folks? Extremely stressful. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but can I say this? No, I won't say that. I don't know. There was an update on the house yesterday, I'll say that. So yeah, my work's been slow, and priorities of just moving the house. I was working 7 days a week for about a month until maybe 2 weeks ago. So I was dead and felt very drained and tired and fatigued. And I'm still trying to catch up now with everything. But we're all in now. All the cats are here as well. I have 4 cats who I love dearly. They're like my babies. And I was so nervous about moving them over, but they've all done like incredible. So, you know, it's been very nice. I was so worried about the moving, but they've been great. So there was just a ton of like anxieties and stuff, and I never like to let my personal life get in the way with my creativity. But boy, is it hard sometimes. Boy, is it hard. 90% of the live streams will involve Connor saying, "Can I say this or should I say this?" Yeah, well, you know, I don't want to say. Sometimes I forget that it's not just my buddies in the live streams. It's also random people on the internet who can be very strange. So you don't know who watches this. A random stalker of mine could be watching this. I've had some weird people watch my YouTube videos. I know some strange people who watch my YouTube videos, and I probably shouldn't be talking about that either, but fuck it, I'm going to say that, Jeremy, I'm going to say that. But here we are, we're alive, we're living, we're in the new gaff, my new room, which I love very much. I have a ceiling fan, so if it's too loud, let me know. I know you can probably hear the cars. It gets like, this room is like a sauna. I don't know what it is about this part of the house, but it's like a sauna. And it gets so hot in here. And I have a ceiling fan and I have a side fan. My side fan isn't on right now. But I'm the only room in the house that doesn't have aircon. I guess they decided that Connor doesn't need aircon and he can cook alive, which is what happens to me every single night that I sleep in here. So I've got my two windows open. I've got a beautiful bathroom over here. It's really good. It's very nice. And I did a lot of work in this room, so I did I did pretty much everything you can see right here. I'm going to be a carpenter for 1 more year, baby, and then I'm moving on. I have some new. Yes, we will talk about Doctor Who in a minute, but this is my therapy session. I come here to vent to the camera, okay? And we will talk about how Doctor Who is probably going to be cancelled. Oh, what a lovely feeling 1 day away from the Series 2 premiere. But I've decided that I'm going to be studying for a year to become a support worker. So that will be a part-time course that I'll be going to the Doctor Who spin-off. I'll be going there 2 days a week for a year, and I'll get my cert free in disability, and then I can get a job doing support work. So I did try to get a job in support work, and basically I was told that I wasn't qualified enough, which is crazy because all my friends do it, but I guess they got in before they started adding all these new like regulations and stuff, because now they're like, either you need 2 years experience working with people with disabilities, which I don't have, or I have my cert free, which I don't have either. So Connor is gonna get a cert free. I've already got my, I've got it right here actually. I probably shouldn't show it in case it says in the information on it, but this is my certificate in carpentry. That's my cert free in carpentry. So I've already gotten a cert before, and I'm not gonna lie to you all, I'm not a very great carpenter. So if I could get that, I'd like to think that I could get my cert free in disability. Yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at. It's been a strange year, you know. I know people like to start years being very positive, but my year started with me having to leave my childhood home, so it made me feel very, you know, I suffer from depression and anxiety and stuff, so obviously I got really, I went into my own world, I think, and kind of struggled to pull myself out of it, and I think continue to, still this day, kind of, Connor's a knob. Thanks, Jimmy. I sent Jimmy, that's just not what I need. Look, I was just talking about my mental health. You know, I texted Jimmy before my live stream and said, I'm very nervous about coming back to do my live stream. And he comments that I'm a knob. So maybe I needed to hear it. But yeah, you know, my mental health is just like this. There's been so many highs and lows of this year. And, you know, I think I've been taken advantage a little bit about how like, it's been a little bit slower recently with like work and stuff, so I have been taking some days here and there, if you can forgive me. Connor's actually a great person, not many people like him. Oh, well, stop it, Jimmy. I get called a knob and then I get called a great person. Well, thank you, that's very sweet. I'm doing my best with what little I've got, I think. So these live streams are now the start of a 8-week run. I'll probably do it 9 weeks in a row because we'll probably do like a after series 2 stream where we just talk about the whole series as a whole. Did you see that Shooty will be doing a play this August/November? I did see that. We are in very dark times, people. The darkness isn't just in Connor's life; it's also in Doctor Who. We might be on the eve of the last series of Doctor Who. I don't want to say ever. I know some people have been saying this might be it. I doubt that would be it. I know there's been a lot of people saying that the fact that when the show came back in 2005, it was a bit of a miracle, and I can admit that it was a bit of a miracle that it worked, but it did, and now we've had a 20-year run of said New Who, but now we might be going into the wilderness years again. What wilderness years number 2? Yeah, just as OzChris just commented, yeah, that might be a thing, folks. Where there's smoke, there's fire. And I said that from the beginning. Aidan is a bit of a positive man, and I've been saying on the show for a while, I've been trying to hold my tongue a little bit. As Jeremy says, I do occasionally say to myself, should I be saying this? But I think where there's smoke, there's fire. I had a feeling that this would be, the last series with Shooty, definitely the last series with Disney Plus, except for War Between the Land and the Sea, and then we'd probably get, I don't really have a problem with, and we'll get into the Robot Revolution, by the way, we will get there. What's there really to talk about? It kind of looks like dog shit, but either way, I'm not very excited for it. We're on the eve of Doctor Who, and it just feels like it's the end. It's Jova, folks. But staying positive, I feel like what was I saying? I just feel like this was kind of foreseen, and Russell's saying that Doctor Who is like Robin Hood, and that it's kind of maybe over. I don't know. I don't know what to say really. I mean, it feels like it's been non-stop just bad news with the show. I feel like if it wasn't us fans watching it and tuning in, the show would have been cancelled a long time ago, because no new viewers are coming on. No one new seems to have, no one likes what they're doing at the moment. It was a swing and a miss. It obviously just didn't work. There are all these theories about them possibly, well, they did reshoots a couple of weeks ago for the Reality War, I guess. What's that episode, the final call, Reality War? Hi Sarah. The Reality Bomb! Activate the Reality Bomb! As Jeremy sent us an email this week with that soundbite, which I'll love. They did some reshoots for that. Michaela, you did make it! I thought you said you weren't going to be able to make it. The plans have changed. Hooray! Woo! Yes. So good to see you guys. Look, Doctor Who might go away, but I won't. I mean, there's still so much to talk about, even if there isn't New Who. I mean, I like coming on here and just kind of talking shit. So we can keep doing that. I think. Can't stay, have fun. Well, bye, Sarah. That was quick. Thank you. I'm going at the top here. It says Kieran's right and says, only sticking to predictions. I'm confident with the robots taken off their robot suits and they're all Caroline Ann Ford. Are you for real? Ring-a-Ding is an incarnation of the Doctor, and Omega is inside the well. Right. I feel like if Caroline Ann Ford came back, the advanced reviews for the Robot Revolution would be a lot better than what they're saying. Because basically what they're saying is, it's fine. Aren't you sick of hearing that with Doctor Who? It's fine. Like, it's just, I'm so over it. I just want good Doctor Who. I'm sure there's going to be some great episodes in this new series. I'm not trying to say there won't be, but Jimmy says we'll always have Flux. Yeah, Flux was very fun. We'll always have Clom, says Adam. Yeah, we will. Michaela says, yeah, the plans have changed for today, so I can come here at last. Fantastic. Or Oh, my day is so much better immediately. Michaela, thank you. That's so sweet. Oh yeah, Chris and Jimmy in the chat. I guess Jimmy's now an ex-Madman in a Box podcast member. I mean, now there's a new series coming out. Surely Jimmy will pop on for at least an episode. I mean, Christ, my filming schedule is going to be fucked. I mean, I'm going to be filming like Sundays and Mondays and Fridays for 8 weeks. So I'm not sure if I'm ready for that. I remember last year, it really taking it out of me. So we'll see how I go with that. But I'm kind of preaching to the choir here. Oz Chris says Doctor Who will be gone, and that's when Jimmy decides to come back to Madman with a Box. Well, that'll probably never happen, unfortunately. Jeremy says, I feel like RTD did the stupid thing he always does of overhyping Doctor Who, but he did it to the Disney execs. He probably said it'll be the biggest show on television, etc. Sure, and that's his job, you know, but I think you've got to be realistic. You know, this whole idea of, you know, it's going to be bigger than Stranger Things, I thought was just a bit of hoopla. But, you know, man's got to stay employed. Mr. Scholar says, what is your favorite soundbite? Mine's either Mr. Holmes or the na 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 Donna. I don't know. What's my favorite soundbite? Probably the dog, the bark. I think the bark's funny. Whenever I re-listen to the pod and I hear the dog bark, I think that's really funny. I like the yes as well. Yes, that's funny. We should have a few new soundbites for the Series 2 run, but who knows? Mr. Holmes is iconic, yeah. Good old Dylan Holmes Williams. We don't deserve you. Chris says, listening to it being the next Stranger Things, and most of us are sick of it still being a thing. Yeah. Jeremy, I've heard The Well is a sequel to Midnight. I really hope it's not. It'd be like making a sequel to The Walls of Mars. Some things work better when you don't expand on them. Yeah, so I know there's a ton of leaks out there. I haven't read any of the leaks. Hope I'm not late for the stream. No, Sophia, we've only been going for 16 minutes. So you're right on time. Yeah, I hear about this, The Well being a sequel to Midnight. I just hate that. And that's just RTD2 all over. From the title reveal, they show that the clock goes to midnight. I don't know. I'm sure it could be fine. Oops, didn't realize it was a leak. Sorry. No, it's not a leak. No. Yeah, no, you're fine. I think people have speculated that it is a Midnight sequel because of that. I mean, the BBC released that, so I know there's stuff running around out there. I have no idea. I'm just, if this is going to be the last series of Doctor Who we get for a couple of years, I kind of just want to go into it and be maybe like shocked when I see some things. And when I say shocked, maybe not in a great way, but at least I won't know it's coming. It's like everyone predicted the Sutekh thing from a mile away, so when he did rock up at the end of Legend of Ruby Sunday, I was kind of just sat there like, all right, okay. It's like, who really cares? Jimmy says, I'll pop on for the new stuff unless it sucks. On to Mad Men? Well, it probably will not be great, a few episodes at least. Shit, you guys are sending a lot of messages. I mean, I'm not on my laptop today. I've lost my laptop charger during the move. I don't know where it is, so I'm using Mum's iPad to read all the messages. And you guys are killing this. Let me try and reply them all. Michaela says, oh, by the way, Michaela, I checked out your video. I thought it was really beautiful about, it was about loss and moving on. I thought it was very lovely. It was great. She says, I'm really looking forward to the new series. I'm honestly very excited about all the episodes. Also, they look wonderful. I don't think Doctor Who has ever looked this good. Yeah, we'll definitely lose Doctor Who looking as good in the divorce of Disney, but you know, maybe it's what we need. Chris says, I haven't read any of the leaks, so I'm going to go in blind, except for The Well. Thanks, Jeremy. No, it wasn't a leak. That is just what they showed in the reveal of the title. So, Jimmy says, how about we stop getting sequels and start getting new things like Wild Blue Yonder? Couldn't agree more. Oz Chris says, love a Monsters sequel and RTD2. I hope so. God, that'd be amazing. I'd be so down. I love that. That's probably my guilty pleasure episode of Docky Who. Sophia says, I'll be mad if a Midnight sequel, to be honest. Some things don't need sequels. I agree, and I think we all agree on that. I think And it's like, no matter if it's like, even if it's like a really good episode, I feel like it's just don't touch it. Like, because then you're never going to go back to watch Midnight because without being reminded of the well, which I'm pretty sure is, well, 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 to quote Grace Randolph, well, 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 I'm pretty sure it's going to be a sequel. Which is so dumb, by the way. What, is Judy going to hear, like, knocks on the door and he'll be like, oh, it's like that bus I was on the planet Midnight. Jeremy says, I don't know if it's an official leak. I haven't read them, so I think it's just people speculating online. Yeah, it is, I'm pretty sure. Says, I've stayed away from the leaks. Good. I think we all should, to be honest. Which episode are you most hyped for? For me, it's either Lux or Lucky Day, says Mr. Scarlo. I would say Lucky Day, because I'm a 73-yard simp and I'm hoping to recapture that energy. Or the story in the engine, I think, could be really cool. I'm curious about the well. I mean, if they're gonna go in with this whole like Midnight sequel, I have to admit I am a little bit curious. Not that I want it, but I am a bit curious. Michaela says, I think a Midnight sequel could possibly work, but the likelihood of it working is quite small. I agree. I don't think they could ever recapture that magic. It was a ball episode that, that wasn't I don't think it was ever expected to be as popular as it was. So fuck me, you guys are sending so many chats, I can't even reply to them all. I'm freaking out here. Oh my god, they're just coming in. I can't do it all. Oh my god. And I'm reading off a fucking iPad that's the size of like a Tic Tac. Oh, let me bring this over here. Let me hold this. This is quite professional. I'll read off the I have to keep like leaning over. Sophia says, I once thought someone had leaked half the new season to me. I got really worried that, oh gosh, should I just get the whole season leaked, but it rumored it was April Fool's. Maybe it wasn't an April Fool's, you never know. From what I've heard, I don't want to, oh hi Jacob. From what I've heard from the leaks, they're not very good. So it's like history repeats itself. The 60th leaks weren't very good, Series 1 leaks weren't very good, and then now Series 2 leaks aren't very good. It's like, come on, man. Can we get anything good? Mikhail says, the well could possibly be Bash Narada episode as well, which I wouldn't dislike. That could be cool. I'm sure Moffat wouldn't mind. I mean, he let Chibnall use the Angels. Elton's down there. What, Elton from... Elton's in the well. What, from Love and Monsters? Michaela says, I'm working on another video on how my silly dreams keep me going, which is basically me yapping about wishing to meet Michelle Gomez, but the video is really special to me. Yeah. I've met Michelle Gomez. I interviewed her. I think you know that. Jeremy says, I low-key love a live stream of you reading and reacting to the leaks live. I think if you get to the final and all the episodes are shit or mid, then you should do it. What do you have to lose? Yeah, maybe. I mean, oh god. It must be Omega or something. It seems like Russell's doing sequels to classic episodes, which sounds good on paper, but when Russell does it these days, it just doesn't seem to work. Sophia says, I need to watch the rest of Series 14 before Series 5 comes out. I've watched like 3 to 4 episodes of it. Yeah, I haven't rewatched any episodes. I'm going to wait for my 1 year on perspective videos to do that, which are coming up soon, which I haven't started, which I really need to get a move on for. Been a little bit lazy, I won't lie to you all. Is moving house considered lazy? Probably. Chris says, nothing says fresh new start and jumping on point like sequels to various stories across the show 60 plus years. Well, exactly. Like, that's what's so silly. It's like, if the Rani's in this new series, I haven't seen any of the Rani episodes. I've seen one Omega episode. I'm happy to watch some Tales of the TARDIS, but is Bart down the well? Now that's an old one. That's like Series 2, Series 3 of Simpsons, isn't it? Oh, I love The Simpsons. Who is your favorite villain for the Breaking Bad universe? Mine is Lalo. Lalo Salamanca. Well, I rewatched Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul this year. I'm currently rewatching The Sopranos, which is the greatest TV show of all time, by the way. I love The Sopranos. I think it's a masterpiece. I also think that Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul are masterpieces. If you ask me which show's better, Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul, I probably lean towards Better Call Saul. I think Better Call Saul is just incredible. Who's my favorite villain though? Yeah, Lalo is incredible. Lalo's fantastic. I think Gus has kind of been like overused now and oversaturated, but you know, back in the day when Breaking Bad was airing, I mean, I was watching Breaking Bad around when Series 4 was coming out, and he was an incredible villain. So I think we've kind of, Gus has become a bit of a meme now, and of course he was in so much of Better Call Saul that we've seen a lot of him. And it doesn't help that Giancarlo Esposito's in every single fucking TV show and movie now. He wants a role in a TV show or movie like The Axe Wants to Turkey. So I think he's become a bit oversaturated as like an actor, but you can't deny how iconic Gus Fring is. I'm on like a rewatch stream at the moment. I'm just rewatching all this shit, and I've had a blast. Those TV shows are timeless. You want to learn how to make good TV, don't go to film school. Watch Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, The Sopranos. Definitely watch Sopranos. Sopranos is the greatest TV show of all time. I'm on series 3 now of my rewatch. That's my second rewatch. I watched it for the first time during COVID, and yeah, absolutely loved it. Jeremy says, I feel like the series 1 felt like an out of season April Fool's joke. It is pretty mid, isn't it? It's just so like forgettable and boring. Nothing really entices me about that series to go back and watch it. I'll go back and rewatch Boom and 73 Yards. For the 60th, I'll rewatch Wild Blue Yonder. But considering how many episodes have come out, that's not very good. I mean, I was saying to Dan the other night, if Dan came over on Boxing Day and we rewatched Joy of the World, but if he hadn't come over and we hadn't rewatched it, I probably never would have rewatched that episode. It's the biggest load of slop I've ever seen in my life. You have shows like Gavin and Stacey and Wallace and Gromit coming out on the same network that day, and Doctor Who just clearly can't keep up with it anymore. I heard there was a leak, but I'm trying to stay away from spoilers, says Michaela. Yeah, try your best. Twitter's been pretty good. I think Twitter's respects the fact that not everybody wants to read them. I understand a lot of people are giving up on the show and they don't really care anymore and they're just going to watch or read leaks. I don't necessarily blame them for that, but The Devil's Core was fantastic until the musical ending, says Jimmy. I hate that episode. I actually think that I kind of really dislike that episode. I really do. I felt like it could have been so much better. Sopranos is not as good as Ted Lasso, says Jimmy. That is the most ridiculous thing I think I've ever heard in my entire fucking life. I'm sorry, that is so... I might block you for saying that. That is the most dumb thing anyone has ever said on this entire live stream, Jimmy. Far out. Sophia says, they stated it was an April Fool's joke in the post description. I didn't read it all though. Okay, good. Jeremy says, I think if they bring back Omega, then they need to have a scene where Shooty fights a guy dressed as a pig monster like Pertwee did in The Three Doctors. You know what? I wouldn't doubt that happening, to be completely honest. Boomer Dog in the chat. Doug, how you doing? Just pop in and say hello before I go on the Detox Doctor Who podcast. Busy week, started on the YouTube channel on the Man from U.N.C.L.E. TV show. Crazy, 1,300 subscribers in 2 weeks. What the fuck? Amazing, incredible. Enjoy the Detox Doctor Who podcast. I feel like Gus would be the best villain if the actor didn't go on to essentially play him in every other role. Yeah, Giancarlo kind of did that, didn't he? It's kind of annoying. Joy of the World is so shit, I feel like it gets worse the more I think about it. Considering it's written by Stephen Moffat, who's written some amazing Christmas specials, you really do just think that you really would just expect more, wouldn't you? But I guess, and after Boom as well. When Boom came out, I was like, yeah, he hasn't lost it. He's still got it. And then that happened, and you're like, oh, smack. Reality smacked me in the face. That episode's so boring and shit. I hate it. Michaela says, I just remember I need to renew my Disney Plus subscription. I might rewatch something today as well. You know what? You know what really annoys me? Disney Plus is now $21 a month. I've been a day oneer of Disney Plus because the idea of having The Simpsons on a streaming service was something that I just dreamt of as a child. So I got it on day one. I think it was $9, and now it's $21 in the year of 2025. What the hell? Michaela also says, I hate surprise, so there was a time when I would read leaks, but I think I want to keep the excitement of wondering what is going on. Yeah, well, I know a lot of people are saying, and this isn't leaks, I don't think. I don't know what to say anymore. I don't know if I'm saying leaks or if I'm just saying what I heard people theorizing about. I don't know if it's a theory or a leak, but I'm sure you guys have all heard like the Doctors in a TV show, which just sounds like something that we've seen a gazillion times before. It's not original. It's probably not going to be done well. Jeremy says, I feel like the cinematography of Devil's Cord blinded me to the shortcomings. Really love the scene where the Doctor turns off the sound. Yeah, I remember you saying it was like one of your favorite episodes of Doctor Who, like direction-wise. There's no denying that the series looks beautiful. It's all spectacle and no substance, you know. Boom, for example, looks incredible. That shot where Ruby looks up at the sky and she sees like the two moons, and yeah, I mean, it looks incredible. Like it will never look that good again. But also, they're never going to forget when Doctor Who got the biggest chance they could and it failed. So Michaela says, I don't hate Joy of the World, but it's not my favorite. I will rewatch in December though. I'll rewatch from my year perspective video. Ow! And then that will be it. Gah! It's Friday, baby. Crack some tinnies. Hell yeah. I love WA independently brewed beer. We're independent here, and we're drinking independent beer, baby. Alright. Oh, God. Jeremy says, the Moffat who wrote Joy of the World isn't the same Moffat who wrote Christmas Carol. Yeah, Christmas Carol is like not only one of the best Christmas specials, it's also one of the best episodes of Doctor Who. It's very close to being perfect. It makes me cry every time I watch it. Jimmy says, 73 Yards, Devil's Cord, Dot and Bubble are the only good episodes in Ncudi's era. What is this obsession with Dot and Bubble that I just don't get? I never liked that episode. Joy to the World was not a joy. That's right, Adam. I resubscribed for Daredevil and Doctor Who, then I'll unsub. What about The Simpsons, Jeremy? You're like The Simpsons Go, you're like me. Adam says that he's been really enjoying Daredevil. I watched like 10 minutes of Daredevil to watch that opening scene because I heard what they were going to do. I won't say anything. And then I stopped. I can't deal with Marvel anymore. Marvel's like, it's gone for me. Ain't coming back for me. Boomer Doug, the GOAT, I would say, says, one more Sleep Till Series 2 I have to watch as we are going to do a reaction show called Who Up Late Saturday Night, UK time. Should be fun or torture. Probably a bit of both. Fun to be with the boys, torture to talk about it. Yeah, we'll be doing it on Sunday morning because the times here are going to be shit. I mean, I think I get it tomorrow at like 4 p.m. or something. So, yeah, it's just, I don't know. That just kind of sucks. Jeremy says, I almost feel like Flux are just as good, if not better than what we're getting now. If it goes back to BBC, I won't be worried. Yeah, I always use that as an argument where I'm like, you know, the show didn't look terrible before it went to Disney, and I don't think it will look terrible when it comes back. You know, we are living in a day and age now where things look good normally. So I don't think it'll be a problem. We'll be fine. That's if it comes back. I mean, it might. We might be having another Wilderness Years. I personally think maybe it should go on a break until maybe the 70th. I don't know. That might be a bit harsh, but Jeremy's still got the Simpsons DVD seasons 1 to 12. I'm glad you watch up to at least 12. I think there's still good episodes in the later series. I think some people can be a bit harsh about. I can normally watch 1 to 20 without hating my life. That when it goes to HD, which is like halfway between series 20, I get a little bit like, it doesn't feel the same. Oz Chris says, who's also in Australia, I get it at 6 p.m, but I'll be partying tomorrow night, so I'll watch it the next morning. Wow, Chris is out partying. Let's go. Yeah, I'm gonna watch it and then go to Dan's house, and I'm gonna watch it with Dan. So I'll watch it twice before the review, which is normally a good thing to do. I think watching it twice is good. I don't really have any. I don't know. This episode just looks super boring to me. I kind of feel the same way I felt about Joy of the World, where I'm like, I'm not really feeling this episode. It doesn't look too good to me, and I guess I was right, unfortunately. It's hard being right all the time. Doug says, how are you enjoying the new house? Yeah, it's good. I think it's taken some adjustment, for sure. It's weird. This is a weird way of explaining it, but I'll say this. If you've seen Better Call Saul, you'll see they build the meth lab, which is used in Breaking Bad. Now, I'm not saying my house is a meth lab, because it's not, but you see the process of them making it. So when you then see the lab in Breaking Bad, there's always history behind it, and you know how it was built and how much effort went into it, like blood, sweat, and tears as well. And now when I live in this house, because I spent the majority of 2 years building it, I look at every corner and there's like a story, and not all of them good. And I'll leave it there. A lot of people come and go. This is one of those times, Jeremy, where I say, should I be saying that? My chat is frozen. This isn't good. Michaela says, my rat at Adeka had a tumor removed surgery today, and she just got home. She's all right and so adorable. I'll be right back. I need to see her. Oh, bless. I love animals. I think my oldest cat has a tumor as well, which is very sad. Jimmy says, I didn't even know it was out tomorrow. We spoke about this like yesterday, Jimmy. What the hell? Doug says, I had the final piece of cancer card of my lower eyelid 3 weeks ago. Cancer free, baby. Okay, let's go. Incredible. Incredible. Congratulations, man. I'm sure that was awful. But man, congratulations. Super brave of you. Well done. Very proud of you. Wow. Life is hard, you know. Sometimes it's easy just talking about complaining about Doctor Who, you know. Chris says, if only there was a Doctor Who channel where you were a part of that regularly mentioned the release date. That was aimed at Jimmy, who quit the Madman with a Box podcast with no notice, I would say. So there are secrets under it. There are no secrets under my house. The only thing I hid was, I don't know what I would do is I would hide, like under the floorboards, we put down like flooring, and I put a note under there, and I put like my name and what date I was putting the flooring down and stuff. I left a few messages around the house. All over Perth, I've left messages in like, if we're doing a wall or something, I'll write on the jet rock and then like color it with installation, so like one day someone will find it. You know, I guess it's kind of fun. You do weird shit to get through your day, don't you, you know? Lots of congratulations to Doug. Max says, from the review, seems like we might get some more Doctor Companion conflict this season. Hopefully a big improvement from Ruby in Series 1. I agree. I mean, that's what we need, really. This whole, like, Aiden says, I didn't make you a thumb, but I mustn't have saved it on YouTube. KMS. Nah, that's alright, Aiden. I know you were busy today. That's alright. Knowing my thumbnail skills are pretty shy, I can admit it, but the last 2 live streams did really good. So sometimes the simple the better. So, the sometimes I can like worry about thumbnails too much, I think. But still. Mikhail says, I'm back. Let's go. Doug says, I watched the drug arrest today whilst at the bus stop. Wait, what? Can I read this? Wait, what? I watched the drug arrest today while at the bus stop. 3 black 4-wheel drives. Oh, right. Sorry. I thought you were saying something else there. And pushed the local drug dealer. One accidentally said, get down, punk. Watch too much cop shows, I reckon. That is scary. That is very scary. Michaela says, I'm going to get something to eat as well, but I'm listening. All right, that's okay. I listen to H3 podcasts like every day, so I always have the podcast on in the background. So Cinema Quirks, Jimmy Quirk says, I don't like your passive aggressiveness, Connie. Well, I'm here to entertain, and I have to put on a bit of a show, and sometimes it means I say some things that might piss some people off and might be a bit passive aggressive. But if I don't, what's so scary about YouTube is I can see how many people are watching live right now, and I can see it drop. And I can yeah, I know what you mean, Jeremy. That's what I was thinking. I was questioning if I should read it at first, but I got it wrong. I can see how many people watch it. Like it gets spooky when you see it going down and up, and it's like you have to turn on the Riz sometimes. Let's talk about, now the chat is slowing down a little bit. Let's talk about Robot Revolution. What are you guys thinking? What are you thinking? What are you feeling? What are you thinking? Thinking 3 times. I am not excited for it. I am kind of keen for Doctor Who to be back, I guess, but I'm not sure how I feel. So let me know what you're thinking. I'm not too excited about it. I'm more excited for the run of Lux, The Well, Lucky Day, and the story in the engine. Doug says, my first Man from Uncle just scored 53 views. That will never happen again. It's very scary. I could not do live like you, mate. Gutsy move, Connor. Well, I had an incredibly strange day of knowing that I had to come back and do the stream. Jimmy just deleted a text. Yeah, doing I don't know, live's hard, and I get it, and I was feeling a bit spook-malooked about it, but I'm feeling okay now. Once I do it, I'm fine. And I want it to be a regular thing. Even if Doctor Who isn't going to be on the air for many years, I love the idea of doing a live stream a week. It's something I really want to do. The problem is I haven't really had stable work at the moment, but that's going to change in a few weeks. And financial insecurity is a scary thing, but I'll be alright in a couple of weeks. So once I get my feet on the ground and my head in order, I don't want to ever not do my passions, no matter what's going on in my life. Jacob says, the robots will be red. Surprise Dalek episode. I feel like if it was a Dalek episode, there would be more positive reviews. I think Shooty might not even get to see the Daleks. I could be wrong, but criticism going in neutral, no high or low hopes. Yeah, I think that's the best way to do it. I'm not going in with anything really. I'm just gonna go into it and just watch it. It's a piece of TV. Unfortunately, Doctor Who's just become a piece of content that you watch. Doug says, I kind of like the retro robot designs, but I'm not very excited. 53,000 views, not 53. Sorry, I meant to say 53,000. Yeah, 53,000 is pretty incredible. That's great. That's awesome. That is very cool. From The Man from U.N.C.L.E., isn't that like an old ass like TV show? Where's my 53,000 views for talking about Doctor Who? Mr. Scar says, yeah, I think the episode 2 to 5 run could be very solid. I agree, and I think it might go downhill from there, unfortunately. It depends if the final is any good, which it probably won't be, unfortunately. I hope so, but it's kind of hard to get your hopes up when like you've been burnt from Russell so much, and then also he's talking about how it's like, it's Doctor Who Series 3 gonna happen. The Doctor's like Robin Hood. Okay. Great. Okay. It's like, what? What are you talking about? Yes or no? Michaela says, turns out I'm not able to concentrate on making the food without replying. Concentrate, sorry. I'm very excited. I honestly really like the preview. I keep wondering about Mrs. Flood. Yeah, I saw the preview and I saw that dumbass, like, she looks at the camera and she's like, I wasn't here, and now she's Belinda's neighbor. I don't give a shit about who Mrs. Flood is. I'm going to be completely real with you all. Why should I care about who Mrs. Flood is when the whole Susan Triad thing was so dumb? And also, it keeps giving me more evidence that it's going to be the Doctor stuck in a TV show, which I don't think anybody wants that. Maybe they do, but not anyone that I've spoken to. Jimmy says the clip they released had such bad acting, you'd think it was a C-SPAN video from Congress. Okay. Henry says, robots are red. You know what else is red? The Rani. Oh, she's back. She's back, baby. So what, the Rani comes back, Omega comes back, and then the show goes off the air for 10 years? What a way to go out. Mr. Scarlo says, I think this episode will be fine. Bit of fun, but nothing special. I'm intrigued with Mrs. Flood after that scene came out yesterday. Okay, so people are excited about that. That's good to see. It will be better than Space Babies? I mean, I hope so. I don't know why I like Space Babies. I kind of tolerate it. I know people hate it, but I thought it was just kind of fun. So maybe if this episode tomorrow is just a bit of fun, then we'll be all good. Sophia says, I'm hoping the episodes are good. Oh gosh, not the Robin Hood comment. What even was that? Yeah, I think he was saying that like the Doctor is just like a staple of culture that will never go away. Like they do a Robin Hood movie every like 10 years, or they do like a TV show or something like that. The BBC even did a Robin Hood TV show like back when Doctor Who was airing in 2007, I think, or 6. You know, and it was trying to be the next big thing. I think he was basically saying that like it's like it's going to be a piece of culture even if the show does go away. And to not fear. Doug says, Uncle is 60 years old, lots of American boomers, lots of love for that show. Wow, same age as Doctor Who, crazy. Jacob says, every RTD premiere has been kind of mid. I doubt that trend will change now. As long as we like Belinda afterwards, I'll be happy. Yeah, interested to see that if Belinda is a better character than what Ruby was. Given from the, it's funny because like, how long is this whole idea of her not wanting to travel with the Doctor gonna last for? Because, you know, there's a line in the trailer where it's like, girl, you are loving this, and it's like, all right, it seems like she isn't in such a rush to get home. After all, maybe she isn't in such a rush to get back to her standard 9-to-5 job at the hospital. Get her home. I don't really care about getting Belinda home. Am I supposed to? It's their job to make me get excited about getting Belinda home, and I don't feel excited. Remember when the Doctor would say, "I think I saw it, but I missed it. I think," and then figured out what he missed. Why hasn't he done that about seeing Mrs. Flood 30 times? Well, the Doctor is clearly slacking, isn't he? Hey Robert, how you doing? How the Guinness has been going? They alright? I do enjoy a good Guinness. Aiden kind of took over my obsession of Guinness. Aiden likes to act like he started drinking Guinness first, but don't be fooled. That all came from me. I started that shit. That was me. I was drinking Guinness with my friends before anyone else. So don't let Aiden fool any one of you, okay? Doug says, how do you feel about the hiatus talk? Apparently after he hinted the show would be rested. Look, I hate to say it, but I saw a friend of the show, George, said, Ace Creeper said that it'll probably be best if it went on a hiatus for 5 years. And let's be honest, that probably would be the best for the show. Come back, brand new showrunner, brand new Doctor, brand new writing team. Everything's brand new. How exciting would that be? I would be happy with it I would be okay with it going on a hiatus as long as I know it's coming back. Which obviously isn't, we're not going to get that confirmation for maybe years, but I think Ncuti is almost definitely regenerating at the end of the series, and that's what the reshoots were. Which sucks, by the way. I think it's going to be an open-ended regeneration, what they were going to do with Jodie before Russell came back. Because if you remember, Russell coming back was a last-ditch effort to bring back the show. The show was going to go on a indefinite hiatus. And now this whole Russell thing is like, the BBC are probably like, if even the fans don't like what Russell's doing, then we need to give his show a little bit of a rest. And I know there's always people out there, I see them on Twitter. Twitter's been fucking me off recently. I'm so sick of seeing people being like, but it's one of BBC's biggest shows. Like, Mr. TARDIS put out a really good post about the financial side of it all. And it doesn't make as much sense as you would think of Doctor Who being as popular as it was. I mean, it is popular, but it's not the best thing since sliced bread. Let's put it that way. There are shows on Netflix that come out that are made by like monkeys that are better, like monkeys on a typewriter that are getting better views than Doctor Who. Chris, the last anything to do with Robin Hood was only 2 years ago, so 2-year break. What was that then? I think that's what he was referring to. It's like the Doctor is like James Bond, or look at James Bond's a good example. I don't like James Bond, but like, when was the last Aaron Craig movie? That was during COVID. That was 2021 or 2. There's been like a 5-year break between. We'll probably get a longer than a 5-year break before the next James Bond movie. It might just be something like that. It might feel long for us fans who want, as Russell promised, a new series every year. Which, by the way, that pisses me off. Like, I hate to be told that, and then it was just a big load of bullshit. I mean, we have got a series every year so far, but we don't want to get one next year. So, Gallifrey will be back as well then? I don't know. Does any of it really even matter anymore? It reminds me of when Netflix cancelled the Marvel Netflix shows, and then they still had Jessica Jones Series 3 and the Punisher Series 2 to come out, and everyone was commenting like, what's the point of watching? Because it's not going to go anywhere. It's kind of how I feel like with this. I mean, I could definitely see War Between the Land and the Sea being like the last piece of Doctor Who media we have for maybe 5 years, maybe longer. I would come back for the 70th. I know that seems extreme, but come back for the 70th, be a new Doctor, be brand new. We'll have stuff to talk about. There's still tons of classic Who to watch, and there'll be the Wilderness Years and stuff. Maybe I'll write a Doctor Who fan fiction or something like that. Sophia says, I think the Doctor's in a TV show premise is an interesting concept. They just need to execute it well. Any premise can become a good episode if they can actually write it well. Well, yeah, I mean, I watched WandaVision. I think that was the last Marvel show I ever watched. And until the... My cat's trying to get out. Fenton, do you want to come over and say hi? Fence. Ignoring me. I liked what they were doing with WandaVision until it kind of ended, but the whole idea of like being stuck in a TV show was kind of like a cool, creepy concept. So I guess if they do that, then it could be cool. I don't know. The last Robin Hood episode we got was What by Mark Gatiss, Series 8, Episode 3. Robot of Sherwood. Robin Hood did get 3 series though. Is that the BBC Robin Hood? It took an entire season to get Tegan back to Heathrow, so who knows? Yeah, well, they're kind of doing that again. Belinda will not want to try with the Doctor for probably 1 episode. Yeah, 1 episode, and it's like, you know, girl, you are loving this. Aiden is a stinky liar, I got it. Well, Aiden likes to act like he drank Guinness before me, so... Robin Hood got cancelled after Series 3, never mind. Yeah, that sounds about right. In 5 years, you'll be 31. Will you still be interested? Yeah, for sure. I'll always love Doctor Who. Why have I got this in arm's reach? Like, I love this stupid blue box show. I'm sorry, Fenton, it's true. My cat's trying to desperately get out of my room. He doesn't want to hear about Belinda Chandra anymore. Fenton, should we let him out? Get Fenton out. Hashtag get Fenton out. Let me fucking... Fenton! Bubby! Is he going on my bed? Here's the thing. Cats, you try to help them, they go under the bed. I ain't gonna run after him. Fenton's a special type of guy. We love him, but... I still care about Doctor Who when I'm 31. 31? Christ, that's an adult. What am I doing in my life? I'm on my Friday night, I'm talking about a child's TV show? Christ. 31? Once we get to the 50% part of the end, we can talk about my day in life. That's always fun. Michaela says, I feel like Doctor Who being cancelled would break me, so I'm choosing to stay in denial of everything. Yeah, but I understand that. But people, it happened before and it came back, and I think we'll be okay. I think we'll be okay. Even if it's a couple of years, I understand that, Michaela. I do. I know I'm being a bit cynical. I don't want Doctor Who to be cancelled. I'm just very burnt and hurt and butthurt because I seem like a bit of a fool because I was so convinced that this was going to be, you know, we're back, and now it's Widge over. So, Robert says, I think if BBC isn't able to fund the show at the current form, then maybe they should switch to series or specials longer, maybe like 2 to 3 per year. That could be cool. I'm not against that. I like that. You know, like an Easter special, a winter special, Christmas special, New Year's. That could be awesome. I'm totally for that. I personally think Who won't be off air for long, maybe 2028 at the latest. Sure, even if it's a couple years, just to do one of these, you know, get a fresh start, get a fresh head new writer, come on in and sort this mess out. Ozchris says it was a TV show called Robin Hood, where Robin Hood was a activist rapper called Robin. I heard it was bad. That sounds terrible. That sounds awful. I would like to see a new show, no continuity, no looking back, no numbered doctors, just some mysterious time travel, start completely new and fresh, make it scary. I completely agree, Doug. I was talking to Dan about this the other day. I was saying, like, I would love it if the show came back and they would call it, like, what are we on now? So, series like 41 or something. Just call it that. Like, don't... Enough of this bullshit of like, we're now on series 1 again for the 3rd time. It confuses audiences. I've, you know, obviously we all have our own ideas for Doctor Who. I have an idea for Doctor Who with a doctor and a companion, and I think it would be great. But I know everyone says that. Maybe I'll pitch to be the new showrunner. I don't know. It will be sad to see Shooty go. I mean, he is the embodiment of like young talent. It sucks, but Doctor Who's been known to waste great actors. It's a tale as old as time. I'm a bit behind your questions, guys. I'm sorry. I'm doing my best here. You know what's funny? I saw YouTube added you can ask people in the audience to become moderators. I was gonna maybe ask. I don't know if I was gonna. I don't want to make it feel like you have to hashtag Crispy for showrunner. Fuck no. Hashtag Connor for showrunner. I was gonna maybe ask like Jeremy or something if they wanted to do it, but I don't want to feel like they have to constantly scan the chat and not enjoy the stream. Not that we rarely get like people who are on like spamming in the chat or something like that, but you know, I said Jimmy. Fuck me, I almost said your real name there, Jimmy. Jimmy says they need to hire a person who acts like 9, 10, or 11, serious actors who were moderately young, who don't act as if it was all a joke, who can have their 1,000-yard stare and know how to command the screen. Well, that was the best thing about Matt, was that we wouldn't be having the situation with Shooty right now. Shooty's a huge actor. Matt was an unknown. So if he was Fenton. All right, let's let him out. Get Fenton home. If I stand up, Fenton, you're not going to run away, are you? Fenton. Hey. There you go. Get Fenton home. All right. This is my sliding barn door. This is the abyss. Okay. Problem with this sliding door is see that? It likes to slide open. It's very annoying. Stay. See what I mean? It loves to slide open. Stay. Thank God. Alright, I'm back. I'm back and Doctor Who is Jova. Yeah, Matt wouldn't have this problem that Shooty's having because Shooty's huge and he wants to move on, which is what he's doing because he's doing that play now, isn't he? So, the Wilderness years were bonkers. They wrote 16 novels between season 26 and Paul McGann movies, so I'm curious how the long hiatus would look. More novels, comics, sure. Fan projects, Big Finish, I don't know. Sophia, I think there's enough fan fiction and fan media to keep any Doctor Who fan interested, for sure. And I haven't watched, I've watched like maybe 25% or 20% of Classic Who, so I have all that to watch. Jimmy says, look what happened when they brought back Tennant. He was so good, you forgot he ever left. I agree. Jimmy also says, a Doctor Who movie trilogy with a budget of 007 taking it seriously will bring it back like crazy. Maybe. I could see like maybe a movie helping, but it didn't help in the past. What will happen first? The collection sets will come back or the show coming back? Probably the collection sets. I don't know now. I mean, there's still like 9 to come out, aren't there? Doctor Who at its best is when it's horror. Doctor Who the movie volume 2, I honestly wouldn't hate that. If Doctor Who did go off air for a couple of years, do you think we would look back on RTD with fondness? I feel like Moffat and Capaldi had Renaissance years later, so maybe it'll happen there too. I think so, but also I still look back on like Peter's years with, I still don't think it was great. I was talking about that the other night, and Jodie's era is incredibly flawed too. Off the Detox on Sensesphere channel, take care Connor. Starts in 20 minutes, join the chat, it'll be fun. Okay, bye Doug, much love. He probably left like 5 minutes ago because I'm behind on the chat. Hashtag also Chris for showrunner, it will make Connor the Doctor. I'll be the Doctor. I've acted a little bit here and there. Do you hear that? There's a car outside. I'd be happy to help out, moderate, anything like that. Thanks, Jeremy. Yeah, we'll sort that out. I might not have to do it right now. It's more just when there's like, the problem is like I'm not signed into anything right now. I'm just viewing this from, I'm reading the chat from, my sister's logged in on her YouTube channel on here. So if there was like someone spamming in the chat, there's something I could do because I normally have my laptop and I'm signed in on my account on my laptop so I can mute people on there. But right now, I couldn't do that. Michaela, I much prefer when the Doctor and companions as well, to be honest, is played by an unknown actor. Yeah, I agree with that. And I think that the idea of bringing Ncuti in was an incredibly smart idea, but I don't think it worked like they thought it would. I think they thought that they would bring in a ton of the girlies and a ton of fans of like sex ed, and I just don't think that happened. Unfortunately, I think Doctor Who is a very specific show that for some reason resonates with us, but not with other people. And believe me, I've tried to get my friends and family onto it, and it just doesn't work. I've tried my best. Jacob, who by the way is one of the oldest fans of the show, Tennant was arguably as big in the 2000s as Ncuti is now. If Ncuti leaves after series 2, then he just isn't as committed. That's fair enough. I guess my point though is that, like, you know, Ncuti did Barbie with, like, you know, directed by Greta Gerwig, and it had Margot Robbie in it, and Ryan Gosling. Sorry, it's Friday, baby. So, you know, he is, and he did Sex Ed, which is a huge Netflix show, obviously. So, Jimmy says that was a TV movie, not the same, Connie. Well, still, what you want it to be? You want it to be in the cinema? That's not gonna work. Tenet was in Harry Potter. Yeah, kinda. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. I remember watching Goblet of Fire in the movies, and my mum was like, "He's the new Doctor," and I was like, "Who the fuck is this guy? He doesn't look like he'd be the Doctor at all." I was so sad that Chris Eccleston was leaving. Those were the days. That would have been like 19 years ago. That's mad. I'm getting old. What happened? Sophia says, "Oh gosh, watching all the classic Who is going to take ages. I've only watched around 25% of it also. And there's still hundreds of episodes to go." Yeah, well, it gives me something to do, really. Lovely Western Australian independent beer over there. Mr. Scarlet, who do you think is the best character, Walter or Sol? Sol, 100%. When I watched it the first time, I was like, Walt's the, you know, because I think I've gotten older and I've lived my life a little bit more. I think I could realize that Walter, you know, there's always this like conversation of like, when did Walt break bad? Walt broke bad in the first episode, you know, when he decided to make drugs. And I think that you can understand why Sol became who he was. Walt, I think, always, you know, he got a bad hand in life, but he took it out on people, I think. Not only that, he always used that as an excuse for acting like a piece of shit. So I found Walt actually quite a bad, like, no pun intended, a bad person while watching it this time around. With Sol, I always felt, I saw quite a lot of myself in Jimmy McGill while rewatching the show. This kind of like fast talker, like almost like pitcher, like always trying to be like charismatic and, you know, light up the room a little bit. It made me feel like him. I don't know. Ooh, I got 2 friends to watch and 3 friends to say they'd watch it someday. Yeah, I got like Aiden and Dan, that's about it. And then all you guys online. Apart from that, nothing. We need a companion like K9 or Handles. Give her about a robotic companion. Yeah, I'd so be down for that. I'd love to see, like... Remember there was that rumor that there was going to be a cat in the TARDIS for Jodie's era? That's what I want. Like, what was it, like Tibbs the cat or something? I would have loved that. A TARDIS cat? Why not? Jimmy says, I know what I said earlier, but I would love to see John Lithgow as the Doctor. I don't know who that is. What beer are you drinking? I might need to see if I can get an order delivered to the UK. So this is called Gage Roads. It's brewed in WA, and it's independent. So it's very expensive, but I like to support independent stuff. So Hey, Wheelie Boy in the chat, what's going on? Nearly midnight in New Zealand. I'm gonna do a half day tomorrow, so I'm heading out. Catch you later. Thanks, Jeremy. Much love. See you later. Great seeing you. Love, Jeremy. No, Michaela says, I'm actively trying not to watch all Classic Coup, so there are still episodes left. I love Classic Coup. Yeah, it's fun. It can be a bit of a drag, but it's like, it's not the worst thing in the world. Like, it can be enjoyable. But yeah, Connor and I had a Doctor Who quiz contest 2 days ago, and I won. He got so mad he wouldn't admit my victory. That is not true. That is literally a lie. Do not listen to this man in the chat. Who do you believe? Connor, who's been your faithful host all these years, or Jimmy, who left the Madman with a Box podcast for no apparent reason? Wait, £17.75 for 6 can of Gage Rose seems like a fair price. Wait, so you can buy it in the UK? That's so insane. I like to support independent stuff. What can I say? I'm a sucker for that. Bring back Penguin Companion for the comics. Yeah, what's his name? Frobisher? Frobisher the Penguin? Percy the cat, that was it. Percy. The orange cat who apparently was supposed to be in the TARDIS. I believe in Connor, obviously, no bias. Yeah, so... Yeah, Jimmy was cheating in that quiz. Obviously, I would win a Doctor Who quiz. Let's not be stupid here. Let's be real. Which classic story are you most excited that you haven't seen? Megopolis, the Tom Baker fun episode. So, yeah, that I think. What is this? Robert says, okay, time to go to work for a living. Take care, Connor, my boy. See you later. Enjoy the show tomorrow, you too. And good luck with your that con you're going to, Robert. I saw you were going to some cons, so congratulations with that. It looked amazing. Jimmy says, so you admit it happened and I won. No, you didn't win. No. I'm not admitting anything. I'm just saying that why would they trust you, Jimmy, and not me? The guy who is literally running this show, who never lies about anything. What you see is what you get with me, okay? For better or for worse. Michaela says, I love how slow-paced Classic Who is. With most shows being fast-paced lately, it's quite comforting. I do better with concentrating on it as well. For sure. I mean, I just watched the Doctor Who and the Silurians, which was 7 parts, and it could get slow, for sure, but it was fun, and I didn't hate it. I didn't hate my eye fortunate. Yeah! Beer just went all over the iPad. But it's Friday night, baby. It's what we do. Let me clean this up. I just got a bit all over me. Was it worth it? Maybe. This is worse than when I go to the toilets on live streams and leave the chat to go and do whatever they want. Oh, God. Thank you. UK, here I come. Wow, you're flying the UK for it, Robert? That's insane. Cans come with free caramella koalas. What the hell are they? Are you joking? Caramella koalas, they're beautiful. They're like chocolate with caramel in them. They're gorgeous. They come with free caramel koalas. Jacob, you've got to get them. They're beautiful. It's such a good beer. I just spilt most of it on me, but they're gorgeous. Inferno was great. Good. Classic Series 7 was great. Yeah, so I'm making my way through Series 7 right now. But we also started Tom's final series, didn't we? What was that episode we did a couple of weeks ago? I can't remember now. Jimmy, he's not letting this go. Jimmy says, first you said it never happened. Now you're saying I didn't win. Make up your mind. It didn't happen or it didn't. and then he corrects himself saying, did it happen or didn't it? So what happened was, I'm in a group chat with Jimmy and this other person, and I said to her, sold, thank you for the sage advice. You bought some? Oh my god. You have to DM me on Instagram a picture, that'll be hilarious. I asked her to send some Doctor Who questions in the group chat so that we could answer them. And she doesn't watch Doctor Who, so she was sending questions in the group chat like, what actress played Rose in Doctor Who? And it's like all this obvious shit that's like so obvious. And I'm at work, so I'm like trying to type like, oh, those are too obvious, go a little bit harder. And then Jimmy answers Billie Piper. And then she's like, okay, that's 1 point to Jimmy. I'm like, no, let's like, maybe we should just wait to do it on like a video call so we can like actually make this proper. And then Jimmy, they both live in America and I live in Australia. So the lag, when she asked a question, they're in the same area. So he would hear it first. So I would have a delay, a couple second delay. So then I would answer questions correctly and then Jimmy would do it and then it would come through obviously before. And sometimes Jimmy wouldn't even know the answers. Jimmy didn't know all the names of the cult of Skaro, which I did, by the way. Oh, and by the way, apparently I don't get a point because they said like, what's the tool that the Doctor uses? And I said the Sonic. And that didn't count because I didn't say sonic screwdriver. Like, what did you think I was referring to? I didn't say sonic screwdriver, so it didn't count. Ridiculous. I love that cereal. I have a soft spot for Silurians and Sea Devils. I love that. Yeah, people are enjoying the classic reviews. It's very nice to see because I sometimes wonder that people don't want to watch them, but they do, which is great. Doctor Who and the Silurians is a great episode. I think it was a bit long in parts, but yeah, it's a great episode. I agree, great serial. Series 7 is so good. Personally, I'm biased towards Inferno. It's my favorite episode. It's amazing. Looking forward to watching it. Jimmy defending himself even more now says, why would you ask for the contest if you couldn't answer because you're at work? It's not adding up. I was feeling a bit depressed. I just wanted to talk to my friends. Is that a fucking crime, Jimmy? Christ. Adam says, I wish more stories were like it. I guess we're all referring to the Doctor Who and the Silurians. Mr. Sky says, what are your top 3 Better Call Saul episodes? Mine are Soul Gone, 5-0, Point and Shoot. Yeah, Point and Shoot's incredible. I'm not a huge Soul Gone fan. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't hate it, but I don't love it. I think Felina is a much better final. Top 3 Better Call Saul episodes. Chicanery in series 3, incredible. I think Better Call Saul series 1 is like one of the best series of TV ever. Uno is a great episode. The first episode, fantastic. There's Winner, the series 4 final, fantastic. Sonic sunglasses, Sonic pen, Sonic umbrella, do all them count? Probably, but not for me. Send you a kiss, Connie, cheer up, lad. To be fair, there is a Sonic probe. I'll Sonic probe you in a minute, Jimmy. So we had to end it on a draw, the quiz, because Jimmy was getting annoyed at me for winning so much. Because all I do is win, no matter what. It's the eve of Doctor Who. How are we all feeling, huh? You know, I got nicotine gum in my mouth right now. And I don't think anyone knew. I had it in for the Series 2 predictions video on the podcast and the Robot Revolution podcast episode. And I don't think anyone ever knew. You know what? Nicotine gum slaps. Like, my mum keeps yelling at me. She's like, you're going to get mouth cancer. It's like, it's not like chewing tobacco. Like, nicotine gum, I think the only downside is that in some cases it can potentially be bad, like recede your gums a little bit. But that's it. Like, there's no other fires in the chat for Inferno. There's no like downsides to it. And it's like, what? So I haven't vaped in, God, 16 months, I think. 16 months. Vaping was so hard to get off. It was a nightmare. And I would also like smoke cigarettes and stuff. I was a sucker for a ciggy when I was drinking. Nothing like having a beer and smoking a ciggy. That was the best. But I got to a point where I think I quit on the 31st of December 2023. So I went into the 1st of January 2024, like fully never call it a ciggy again. Well, that's what we call them in Australia. Ciggy's not bad. What's wrong about saying ciggy? And I quit. And but then I got nicotine gum, and it like revolutionized my life. And it's like, what? Like, sorry, mum, would you rather me be vaping still? Like, proud of you for quitting. Thank you. I still I get some mini cigars for special occasions every couple of months and have them with the boys, but I quit. It sucks. Like, I'm not gonna say that I regret starting, because I had some very fun nights just smoking, like chain smoking and stuff. And like you're only young once, but I think it hit me where like I was doing it so much in 2023 where it got to a point where like I was just smoking so much per night that I felt like I'm not getting anything out of it anymore. Yeah, durries. Yeah, durries is a good way of putting it. Smoking durries. What are your top 3 Better Call Saul episodes minus Soul? I already answered that, Mr. Scarlet. I answered that a couple of minutes ago. Nangs? No, I don't do nangs, no. I've never done a nang in my life. I can put my hands up and say that. Sorry, Willy Boy, you asked a question a couple of minutes ago that I skipped accidentally. You said something about Perth. There you go. Connor, have you heard about the Doctor Who fan club here in Perth? They asked me to join at Comic-Con. I haven't. We're gonna try. I think we're gonna definitely try and get that Alex Kingston interview at Comic-Con. So I should definitely be going. Here's the thing, it's like I don't want to be one of those knobheads who are going to be like, oh, I'll be at this spot if anyone wants to come and say hi, because I feel like that makes me sound like I'm trying to be a big shot. But also it's nice to meet people. I don't want to be like, oh, if we just run into each other, then we do. But Comic-Con was last weekend. Oh no, sorry. I'm referring to Supernova. The good thing about Supernova is we now, because we did the Michelle Gomez interview, we now have like connections with them, so we can say like, oh, we did this one in the past and it went well. So if we could do another one with Alex, it would be great. But obviously these things can fall through. Luckily, so far, the ones we've all pitched for, like Michelle Gomez and Sylvester McCoy, they've happened, but who knows? But we could use the Sylvester McCoy one as like a pitch and be like, you know, it made the Radio Times and stuff, so you know we could do some promotion for. It'll be good promotion for Supernova. I don't know. We say cigaretti in scenic. I can't. I'm sorry. And donkety for cigars. I'm sorry. I completely butchered that. Jacob C says, me and my mates all quit smoking, but whenever we drink it becomes a cigarette free for all. Like we're all perfectly making up for lost smokers. Yeah, that's a good thing. So I still like hang out with people who still smoke, and it can be hard. My sister vapes like a chimney, so it's hard to... Honestly, vaping doesn't get me anymore as much as I thought it would. It's more when I'm drinking at night and you smell that. I think it's because my nan used to smoke like a pack a day. And whenever we went around her house, like she would be like smoking in the living room and stuff. And like I associate the smell of cigarettes and smoking with with like her, and it gives me a good memory. Not trying to make excuses for my awful addiction, but I recommend nicotine gum, Jacob. It's actually really good. I buy like 30 and it lasts me about a week and a half. It's really good. Particularly with like, I get like, I get just plains, they're not minted or anything like that. You can get mint ones and fruit ones, but I just get plain so I can drink with them. It's really good. Mr. Skull, I found them. Thank you. Great picks. Thank you. Michaela says, I finally finished Ruby's Curse by her and Jacqueline. It's so good, that book. Ah. Is that Ruby Sunday? Willie Boy says she's at Supernova. Now I'm definitely going. Yeah, Alex Kingston's coming to Perth. I think she's coming in like July. Jimmy says, best shows ever. Doctor Who, number 1. Ted Lasso, number 2. Connie, number 3. Jimmy's referring to my TV show called Connie, which I'm currently writing, which will come out estimated maybe late next year. Depending on how much I have to study and work, it might be a lot later than that. But I have this TV show that I'm writing, which is kind of, it's a bit dark, but it's about my life. That's why it's called Connie. That's very self-indulgent, isn't it? I'm writing a TV show about my life. But yeah, that's what it's like 6 episodes long. It's called Connie. The first episode starts with me realizing that my school therapist has died, which is a true story. So if you like the sound of that, you'll love my TV show. Connie, come in soon. Michaela, I've been saving up for Comic-Con since 2020, and I'll have enough by December of 3rd year. Now I need my health to get better, and all my biggest dreams might actually come true. Is that because Michelle Gomez is coming? She does a lot of cons. Michaela says, oh, I want to set something with your pronunciation as my ringtone. This is too funny. I can't say it. Jeanette. I can't say it. I'm not even going to bother saying it. I know people have made fun of me before for saying shit wrong on this show all the time. The Ruby's Curse is a River Song book. I also read it. I agree it's good. I know it's about River Song and Mary Malone's Mystery from 2021, I think. I bought it in 2023, but I couldn't finish it then. He defecated through a sunroof. Yeah, Chicanery, Series 3. Such a great episode. This year, it's 5 years actually, and yes, it's because of Michelle. Yeah, that's great. I mean, you finally get to meet her. That's awesome. I've heard so much darker stories at uni film school. It's wild. Yeah, well, I think... Well, it gets darker than that, I think. I really want to make the show about... It's going on YouTube. It's not going anywhere else. It's going for free on YouTube. It's independent. It's going to be a YouTube show. No middleman. Just my story. And yeah, there's some dark episodes in there, I think. Therapists don't die, they just self-reflect spirituality. Okay. I went back to school. I haven't gone back to my school in like 8 years, and I went back for the funeral. It was kind of crazy. I saw a ton of like teachers there that I had when I was a kid, and yeah, it was kind of not. That was last year. I was like mid last year. I know he swapped those numbers. I knew it was 1216, one after Magna Carta, as if I could ever make such a mistake. Never, never. I'm a huge Better Call Saul fan. I love that show. Miko says, hopefully, yeah, I'm not able to travel at all as yet, but I'm really hoping I'll manage someday. I'll have the finances at least. So what's going on with your health? Is everything okay? Jimmy says, I sure hope you would not go back to your school. You're 26. Right, thank you, Jimmy, for making it weird. No, well, what I was referring to is I had a lot of teachers there who were like, feel free to pop. Literally, one of the last speeches they gave us was like, if you ever want to pop in and say hi, you can. And I did it one time to go visit my old therapist. And that was the last time I saw her, and that was in 2017. And then she sadly passed on. Thanks, Jimmy. Always the light of the party over here. How long are we going for? A while. Do you want to do that, the 50% bit at the end? Alright, this is the 50% bit at the end where you can ask anything. It doesn't have to be Doctor Who related, it can be Doctor Who related. We do this bit at the end, we do it every single time. Leave your questions below, I'll answer them. This is like the last little bit of the show. It can last 1 hour, it can last 5 minutes. That's entirely up to you guys. I've got not much to do except eat dinner and rewatch The Sopranos. So if you have any questions, put them down below and I will answer them within reason. Jimmy says she didn't pass, she moved on. Therapist joke. I don't get it. Am I missing something here? I don't understand that. Homie's meant to be a comedian. I ain't laughing. Michaela says it's chronic, but I've been bedridden for about a week now, hence why my plans today changed. A lot worse overall. I was never able to travel really though. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. God, life is so horrible. What is life other than just a series of unfortunate events? I'm so sorry, Michaela. You know, Michaela, you seem to me, although I've never met you and probably never will, I think that you are a ray of sunshine. That's all I'll say. Could you reach into your breast pocket, says Mr. Scarlett. Jimmy, did you put something in my breast pocket? H3 sounds like a condiment. What does that mean? Are you dissing my boy H3? I'm literally wearing Teddy Fresh right now. I will wrestle you, Jimmy. Please try saying Vola T Pan Kasu Dov G Z to Neville Sam Doctor. I time was calling you, hope it wasn't the doctor himself. I'll actually use it as my ringtone. Christ, please don't do that. But if you do, send me a DM on 50 Doctor. I'm someone's ringtone? How crazy. Thank you, I want to say it's fine, but it's not, but I'm hoping it will get better eventually. Thank you for sending some sunshine to your way. I think you do. I mean, your channel is lovely and it spreads positivity, and you know, I have struggles as well, and I think my mental health has been pretty bad as of late, I think. Let me plug this iPad back in before it runs out of power. So, oh god. Slippin' Jimmy is like a chimp with a machine gun. Michaela, you can use that as your ringtone when you like, but you know, people might think that it's pretty insane, including myself. I am not crazy. I know he swapped those numbers. I knew it was 1216, one after Magna Carta. Is it like an ever make such a mistake? Bloody Mr. Scarlet seems to be obsessed with Better Call Saul over here. This is so weird. On the iPad I'm watching on, I've accidentally disliked my own video and it won't let me change it. I'm trying to like it again and it's disliked. Can you see that? It's disliked the video. Oh shit. It's disliked the video and I'm trying to change it back. I'm like, no, please don't dislike your own video, Cole. That's quite self-destructive. It's stuck on dislike. It's like YouTube is your mental health. Yeah, I guess so. Bro, I'm stuck on disliking my own damn live stream. What's going on? I've disliked my own work. While I'm doing it live, I'm like, I'm gonna give myself a downvote because I don't think I deserve a like. Please watch your Instagram. I will send you what the pronunciation is if you want. @50Doctor is the podcast Instagram. A true artist? What? Because I dislike my own work? I think I dislike most of my work, sure. Like, sometimes I do these streams, I'm like, oh, that went really well, and I think I did good. Tonight, I'm like, I did really shit. I don't know why I'm feeling that way. It could be true, it could be false. But yeah. Willie Boy says, wait, is Doctor Who tomorrow morning or Sunday morning? I'm still used to Chibnall's era. If you're in Perth, it will be tomorrow at 4 p.m. 4 p.m. Okay, I need to follow you guys there as well. Yeah, it's 50 Doctor on Twitter and Instagram, and the 50 Doctor on TikTok. I don't know. I don't use TikTok. I'm not a millennial. I don't use TikTok. I'm not hip. I'm not young. I'm not anything anymore. Oh, Willie Boy's in Perth. Hell yeah. Never seen a bad stream from you. Thank you. Well, yeah, I don't know. I think it's just the anxiety of coming on. You know, you want to put on a good show. If I had it my way, I would do YouTube full time. I love YouTube. I think a big mistake I made was just not putting in enough time into doing creative stuff, and I would love to do it full time. It sucks. You know, I'm very excited to get into like support work and stuff and help people with disabilities. I think that's my calling in life. I love helping people, but I love entertaining. I love performing. I'm an attention seeker, but also I care. So, you know, it's hard. I don't know. I don't know. Read my FMK question. What are you talking about, Jimmy? What one are you talking about? I can't see it. I don't know what you're talking about. FMK? Mr. Sky, yeah, I only watched Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul for the first time in 2022, I think, and Better Call Saul is one of my favorite TV shows ever. So good. Have you seen Sopranos, Mr. Scarlo? I think you'll see the inspirations of both of those shows. Yo, Connor, I might need a support worker, lol. Oh, God. Well, maybe... well, I might be doing some on the side. Well, I got to do my experience, so I got to get it from somewhere. That's very sweet, though. Connor needs a support worker. That is inappropriate, Jimmy, and I do not like it. Michaela, your streams are only streams I regularly watch or try to. They're so good. Well, thank you. I try to bring a bit of a personal vibe to them. Not sure if I bring that, but, you know. Oscar says, speaking of hip and cool apps, I have a co-worker try and invite me to a Snapchat, and I had an out-of-body experience. No thanks. You don't use Snapchat? I use Snapchat. Do you know what's funny? I know in America, people think if you're over 20 and you use Snapchat, you're some kind of like predator. But like in Australia, we use it all the time. I mean, when I'm on like dating apps and stuff, like, wait, Jimmy, what the fuck? Are you trying to ruse me here? Did I say something? Were you trying to make me say something stupid when I said, read my FMK question, you little fuck? I'll get you. But go to bed, yeah, 5:30. Come on, you've got Doctor Who to watch tomorrow. Let's go. When I'm on like dating apps and stuff and I'm talking to someone, like we normally move over to like Snapchat or Instagram. That's normally the one of the two we move to. So when I hear people in America saying like Snapchat's for like predators, I'm like, well, I'm not a predator. So what's going on here? No, I haven't, but heard great things about it. Mr. Sky says, honestly, you gotta watch Sopranos. It's like the best thing ever. I would say it's better than Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul purely because it influenced that whole idea of having a protagonist who's not a great person. Mikhail says, I was wondering, you said that you wouldn't be opposed to coming on my podcast, so that offer still sound, because I'd love to come and talk about your dreams for the next video. Sure, yeah, I'll come on. Yeah, one of the reasons I like, speaking of Sopranos, one of the reasons I love Sopranos so much, because they have so many dream sequences in it, and I have some wacky dreams. Sure, I'll come on. Why not? I can hear my dad knocking on. Dad? Dad? I can hear my dad knocking on the door from downstairs. I don't know if anyone's up. I might have to let him in. Yeah, for sure, you're welcome in. They're so relaxing. I use Snapchat for retro filters almost every day. Let's try it. Should I take the camera downstairs and we can let my dad in? Fuck it. Hold on. Dad? Alright. I'll be 1 second. And Connie's back. Here he is. Who'd have funked it? Dad coming back from the pub is a regular occurrence on the Friday live streams. Oz Chris says, I never used Snapchat. It took until last year for me to bother using dating apps, so who knows, maybe in 10 years I'll have Snapchat. Well, you might find someone on the old dating app might ask for it. I'm out of breath now, Jesus. Those stairs. Have you 50% boys considered doing a shared live stream with Crispy and Josh stairs for the final? You could be the real unholy trinity. I don't think so. I think we're all just going to kind of do our own thing. I mean, I wasn't even a part of the other live stream, so... Oh, thank you. I'm so excited. Sure, Michaela, just DM me on like 50 Doctor. I run the Instagram, so DM me on that. Fuck me, what a joke. Ah, this door slides open all the time. This is my regular occurrence. Stay. 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 See, it just loves to slide open. Stay. Far out. Spooky door. I need to fix this because it hasn't got a track on the bottom. Quick, the other one is gone. Really? I never had Snapchat and don't plan on getting it. Yeah, maybe I am one of those freaks who has Snapchat. I don't know. Alright, I might wrap up. Any last questions? Last 5 questions before I go? It's nearly 8:30, so any last words? Let's do it. Sliding doors look so cool. I should have got one in my new bedroom. Yeah, so that's called a barn door. Yeehaw! Any last questions before I go, or anything like that? What are you most proud of? Oh boy, I try not to. That's a good question. I don't know. I don't really give myself any credit for anything. What am I most proud of? Probably my relationship with my best friend Dan. I think we're just like brothers, I think, and we're just so close, and I think we just realized how much we care and love each other, and worked hard when we were younger to stay as close as we are, and now we're just the closest we've ever been. So probably that. I don't know. I think I'm a good son. I think. I don't know. I would like to say I make my mum proud. All I ever want to do is make my mum proud, so I'd like to think I do that. First of all, how dare you? For what? What did I do? Michaela, what is something you looking forward to right now? My favorite question. What am I looking forward to? I'm looking forward to starting my course, my Cert 3 in disability, because I think it will be good for me to get out there more and try and meet new people and push myself out of my comfort zone. Something that I'm terrified to do. I went through a bad breakup in 2023, and it resulted in me getting a very bad case of agoraphobia, where I became quite socially exempt, and even to the extent of like Christmas just gone, I got invited to like Christmas parties and stuff, like family Christmas parties and stuff, and I didn't go because I was so nervous about. I don't know what I was nervous about, but yeah, I got a bad case of agoraphobia. The idea of like leaving the house kind of frightens me, which sounds ridiculous, I know, but I would say I'm looking forward to pushing myself outside of my comfort zone, and those feelings start to slowly leave. Uh, I just have very bad like social anxiety and stuff, but I know I can do good. I know I can get out there and do it, but I like my safety zone, my nest, my room, like seeing Aiden and Dan and my family. I feel safe there, but whenever I leave those areas, I can feel a bit nervous. So I'm looking forward to getting back out into the world. It sounds bizarre, but I understand that I can seem very flamboyant and like quite confident, but it's just I'm just a bit of a showman, I guess. It's part of the show. So must be hard. I'm sorry to overcome. It's fine. It's just something that I'm going through now. Like I think I'll go over it, but it's just kind of hard at the moment. Favorite classic Doctor outfit? Pertwee, most probably, I would say. That or Sylvester McCoy's. Tom Baker's is obviously classic. I like the first. I love cricket, so I probably should say that I love the Fifth Doctor's costume. Willie boy, are you a Freo or West Coast Eagles supporter? There's only one right answer. The answer is I don't watch any sport except for cricket, so I don't really care about that stuff. I don't watch any of it. I know Aiden's a massive Freo supporter, but I don't really give a shit about that stuff. I'm proud of you trying. It's totally valid struggling for sure. Yeah, well, I think I got yes, cricket is the best. Yes, let's go Lions. I love my England cricket team, even though they're abysmal at the moment. The Ashes starts in Perth in November, so I'm going to be there all 5 days. Can't wait. It's going to be great. Beers, the cricket, seeing my team live for the first time. It's going to be incredible. What's your favorite food? I love Thai food. I love Indian food. I like Mexican food. I kind of like everything that's a little bit ethnic, What's your favorite Doctor Who memory? What's this? Oh no, you go for England? Hell yeah, I do. Where's my jersey? Here it is. Hold on. Look at this. This is my ODI jersey. I have my ODI, my Test, and my T20. Here's my. Oh, it's inside out. Hold on. This is for all the Australian cricket fans watching. Come on, England! This is probably one of my favourite ones. Yeah, I'll be at the Ashes this year. Can't wait. Probably gonna be Australia winning, unfortunately, but it'll still be great to go. What's your favourite Doctor Who memory? Probably the skull emojis. Thanks. Probably watching the 50th live was something that I'll never forget. And being old enough to remember it as well. But I was there when Rose aired for the first time 20 years ago, so that's pretty cool as well. I would totally wear my Fifth Doctor outfit as my everyday outfit. Yeah, let's go. Cricket. What about Scorchers? Yeah, Scorchers are alright. I went to their final game beginning of this year with Dad. That was fun. It was good fun. But I struggled to follow the Australian teams because I'm just such a huge England supporter. Like I'll stay up for the games and stuff. I love it. Where would you travel if you had a Where would you travel if you had a TARDIS? I read that completely wrong. Where would you travel if you had a TARDIS that can travel only in space but not in time? Damn it! If you said time, I would have said I would go see my parents' meeting for the first time. But if I go around in space, Mars or the moon, or I don't know if anything else really exists out there, but the moon would be cool, or Mars. I want to get to Mars before that fuck Elon Musk. How about that? Mr. Sky, thoughts on the Graham Norton announcement? Do you think they'll reference his 2 previous interruptions? Yeah, he'll interrupt like the Interstellar Song Contest. Yeah, it's fine. It's whatever. I don't really care. I like Graham Norton. He's fine. He was in Perth the other day. Actually, I didn't go. Why would I go? It's like he just goes and sits and talks about his life. That sounds kind of boring. If I was a huge fan of the show, I'd probably go. But it's like, what's he doing? He just sits there and talks, kind of like what I do, but probably maybe a little bit more entertaining. I don't know. Yeah, it could be cool. I mean, he does all the Eurovision stuff, doesn't he? So it makes sense. But I don't really watch Eurovision, so um, I've said last five questions, but one more last five questions and I'll go. We've been going for a while now, so. What a precious answer. See your parents meet. I would love to see Mars. Yeah, my parents met when my mum was working at a school. My dad is a builder still, and he was back then, and he was building. He was like doing an extension on the school. In my mum's class, her fish tank exploded, and my dad ran in and saved all the fish, and that's how they met. So, if that fish tank hadn't exploded, I wouldn't be here right now. That sounds like a euphemism. Oh god. Who's going to be England's highest run scorer this Ashes? Harry Brook? I don't know. I mean, like, obviously Harry just took over T20 and ODI. I saw that coming from a mile away. You know, which is awesome because I like Harry. I don't know. Harry's good in tests. I feel like he needs to learn in different formats to score. He definitely struggled in the previous ODI that was just happening. Who was it? India we were versing in those ODIs. Yeah, India and the T20 and ODI and stuff. It was hard to watch that. Yeah, I don't know. Probably, you know, I think Stokesy's had his day, but maybe he could come along. Duckett's great. I could see maybe a Duckett century or something like that, or maybe Harry. I think Harry's great. Harry, if you get Harry and Root together, then that would be fantastic. I have a huge map of Mars. I want to learn all the creatures and stuff like that. What, the Flood from Doctor Who? Final question, do you love yourself? What the fuck? Yeah, I love myself, for sure. I definitely had, when I was younger, I definitely didn't. But, yeah, I love myself. There's definitely things I don't like about myself, but yeah, I do. It took a long time to get there, but for sure. How can I not like myself? I mean, I do everything that I want to do, really, and I've never hid away from myself. Even at school, when people would tell me that, like, you know, girls won't like you, you watch Doctor Who, I always would never see that as a reason to stop watching it because I loved it. And it's like, I was just always be myself. So I don't have any problem with, I think, loving myself these days because I kind of stuck by it. I'm always just myself for my flaws as well. There's definitely things I don't like about myself, but to my core, sure, yeah, I do. I think you have to, because if you don't, then what's the point? You know, you gotta be kind to yourself. It's like, you know, I heard the other day, it's like, it's an old saying, obviously, it's a saying as old as time, but it's like, why would you say to someone all this stuff you're telling yourself? Like, sorry, no, why would you say, if you think the stuff you're saying to yourself is awful and you couldn't say it to someone else, why are you telling it to yourself? So it's like one of those things. But sometimes I feel like I need like a kick up the arse to get my gears moving, because I can get a little bit lazy. Luckily I've got parents for that. But you know, I just saw either you or Aiden like my tweet. Cheers. That would be Aiden. I'm here, baby. That sounds like a romantic movie. Yeah, it was cool. What, the fish tank? Yeah. Actually, I would probably go to Cardiff before Mars. I went there. I want to go there really badly. I went to Cardiff in 2016. Oh, craters, not creatures. Oh, sorry. That's wonderful. I mean, you're so amazing. You're amazing. So it doesn't surprise me. I'll stop it. I mean, like, I've just been in therapy for so long. I haven't been able to go to therapy at the moment because I can't really afford it. But in like a month's time, I'll be back to my normal work schedule, so I'll be able to go back again. And I think I definitely would talk to my therapist about, like, you know, not loving myself. And you know, I think that came from a lot of insecurities of like how other people would perceive me and how, you know, maybe girls didn't understand me and stuff. But like, at the end of the day, like you're stuck with yourself 24/7, and you've got to build a relationship with yourself. Like I couldn't spend time with myself alone. Like I couldn't do it, and I still struggle here and there with it. But I do love my alone time. But there were times where I would just struggle so hard, like to be alone by myself. But now I don't struggle at all really with that. And I think that stemmed before from like insecurity within myself of having FOMO that there's all these people out there doing all these things that I'm not doing, but I've never really liked to do things that other people like to do. Like when I turned 18, everyone loved to go to like festivals, and I love music, but I like concerts. I don't like festivals. I don't like the idea of like being at a place all day in like the sun and like drinking, and it gives me anxiety like having to move to different like tents and stuff and different stages, and like everyone was doing it, and I would give myself shit whenever there was like a festival on Perth because it seemed like everyone was there but me, and I would give myself crap about it. But it's like, well, this is just who you are. Like you can't help how you were born. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Ha! The last few minutes of your streams are always so profound. Well, that's what I try to do. Well, thank you everybody. I should probably go. It's 9:38. I got some Sopranos to watch and some dinner to eat. Thank you for joining me. Enjoy the Robot Revolution tomorrow. I guess we kind of spoke about it. We also spoke about if I love myself or not. So that's what we do on these streams, don't we? Yeah, so review will be out on Sunday. It might be Monday for someone else in UK or something like that. But yeah, we'll be there, and then we'll be doing the predictions for the next episode of the Larks. We'll be doing a Q&A about Robot Revolution. There'll be live streams in the next 7 weeks, probably 8 weeks. So, like I said, I'll probably do another live stream after Series 2 ends. But yeah, that'll wrap it up for tonight. Michaela says, I've always struggled with hating my body, my scars, disabilities, the fact that it's not working well, basically, but I'm healing. Yeah, well, I think I've always had like body issues and perceived myself as being, you know, maybe a little bit overweight than I should be. And, you know, I've definitely had body struggles before. I think that's completely normal to look at yourself and compare to someone else. But I think realism and legitimateness and just being authentic and being yourself is way more attractive than being this perfect person that doesn't even exist. It's hard. I go on Instagram and I see people who I know who are much more attractive than me, in much better jobs than me, and you know, maybe, you know, a dating someone who's like smoking hot. I don't know. Like it's hard. It's hard. I get it. But also, I think I'm on this trajectory and this road that I'm just walking. And whenever that stuff comes to me, it will come to me. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. And that's just how it is. You know, you can't change the stuff you're born. Like I have autism. That's why I'm really keen on going into support work, because I understand what it feels like to be different. And you know, it's hard to deal with, you know, particularly when I didn't know and didn't have my diagnosis. Before I had it, once I got it, it made sense, and I became a lot happier because I became accepting of myself for me and my quirky ways. But you know, it can get scary when it's like, before it was like, why am I acting this way? Why am I saying these things and all that kind of stuff? But yeah, you're right. These final little bits of the live stream do become therapy sessions. But yeah, peace and love. Thank you, everybody. We'll be back soon. Enjoy Robot Revolution. I can't even say it properly. The Robot Revolution, written by Russell T Davies, directed by Peter Hall, who's a great director, and the robots are voiced by Nicholas Briggs. Can you ask for more? I don't know. Makota says, I had the autism diagnosis test last month. It's getting closer, and my last appointment with a different doctor was a disaster, so I'm a bit worried. You just take it how it comes, you know. I mean, you know, I look at it as like it's like a superpower. I mean, you know, you know, who wants to be normal? Like being different is so much better. No one wants to watch someone on YouTube who's just standard like a piece of white bread. You know, if you told me to skip the questions, you didn't understand the meaning, or just write down something else. Yeah, some doctors can be harsh, and obviously the world is a bit crazy right now, and I think they're very like, you know, there's obviously a lot going on with our like medical system and stuff. I found some doctors to be quite harsh, but just moving on to trying to find the right one. I found a really nice doctor in November of last year who was very kind to me. So I'm just seeing him from here on out. But you know, getting someone who understands you and doesn't judge you, and someone that you can just be open with, but also having like friends and family who can understand your diagnosis and not be, you know, a lot of my autism, which is people kind of pointing fingers, being like, he's weird, when there was actually like an explanation for it, I think. Or at least there was a lot of me giving myself shit of being like, maybe I am, why am I so different when everyone else seems to get it, but I don't. I still think that way with stuff, but you know, nothing is ever like easy with a diagnosis like autism, but figuring yourself out and knowing who you are and what you want to do, and sticking to it, and again having someone like friends who are just super supportive of you and just love you for who you are is the best thing ever, which is what I'm just so lucky to have. She was so unbothered, honestly, it's a diagnosis, not a guessing game. Yeah, people can be like that, doctors can be like that, they're just trying to get the next patient in. So, you know, it's hard, I understand that. Unfortunately, you might just have to keep shopping around a little bit to try and find the right person. It's the same with like a therapist, you know, you might not get the right therapist the first time around. But eventually you will find someone who gets you and understands you and respects you for who you are. I feel alien both good and bad ways, to be honest. Yeah, well, I feel that way too, but everyone's an alien somewhere, you know. You know, this, you know, we've got such short lifespans to spend it trying to please people who don't give a shit about you, and you know, why are we trying to please these people who don't even respect us? But yeah, I love you all, each individually. Thank you, everybody. Peace and love. It's 8:45. Thank you, Michaela. Thank you, everyone in the chat. I love you so much. I hope I didn't get too personal at the end. But that's what we do around here. All right, Papa bless. Till the next time. You'll be seeing me very soon. And I love you guys. I love you guys so much. You give me purpose. And thank you for making my dream come true. And I'll see you soon. Thank you, guys.